in Sao Paulo, folks, but they are walking into one hell of a storm. 6 Karma with their first win on the board. Need only one more map to guarantee safety here in the group stage to Ascension. Meanwhile, Winthrop University, as the desk mentioned, trying to get this win on the board now to prevent it from going to sudden death against Red Canids in this next matchup. That being said, Mark, 6 Karma, it's an endurance test here for them, isn't it? Playing twice in a row here after their first win. They still have so much to prove.
100% it's an endurance test. I mean, it's an endurance test for pretty much every single team here, but you can't discount the fact that 6 Karma are coming into this one a lot more warmed up now and a lot more comfortable with that stage. Moves, though, an excellent first pick onto Mephisto, traded back immediately.
Winthrop University playing very close to the problem on top of the stack that 6 Karma is boasting with this pistol, but the blind from the breach is going to be able to reset. Paranoia in response. Hosera weirdly alone at the moment, but it's Glyph that gets sprayed down from the link at first. Pelencito taking this very sequentially, and now that second initiator gets active. O to Q, able to get rid of one. Ali now on the Sage, was previously on the KO here on Sunset. A big switch up that is potentially going to lead to Winthrop being able to sequence this out, but it's Pelencito that controls all of that link space to give 6 Karma another pistol to open this match.
You know, like, just looking at this match on paper, even off paper, let's call it that, because we've actually got some tape of 6 Karma now, and you know, if you're tuning into this broadcast, you're probably familiar with Winthrop University, whether or not it's from the collegiate scene or from Challengers NA. And like the desk said, their styles are extremely similar, and what that means is that we're going to be seeing a lot of clashes, a lot of these like high momentum plays coming out from both of these individual sides, kind of catching each other off guard. So really, I'm expecting a lot of these fights to be like a blink and you miss it type of moment. And already, like, speaking of aggression, here comes Winthrop University just walking themselves outside of A, and Josera doing a great job of actually reading that and coming out. Move's probably going to get caught off guard, but is able to duck out of the way of that one.
It's so tough to adjust to the mannerisms of a team you just watched, but WU already doing a good job of trying to stop Hosera and Mephisto from getting too active in these rounds that they should have a really large gap on. See how active they try to play for this. Moobs, as always, going to try to be the second most annoying thing about Winthrop's retake game. There's the kill on the Mephisto. Good ass start.
Still, though, let's see if they're able to secure any of these kills. Util means they're going to be moving forwards here. Sabor just on the other side. The spike tap goes down.
Always Governor willing to take that body on the spike, but the rest of the team can't extend too much beyond it. 6 Karma can compress quickly enough and manage that power round. Heading to the bonus here, it looks like 6 Karma want to establish that quick pace and get some boastful, confident players that have already been activated, like Hosera and Mephisto, on the field, able to condition those potential lurks very early on.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, you have to be a little bit scared about how that round kind of played out. Moobs, one of the players that the desk highlighted there, was just kind of running rampant on him. We highlighted the fact that Hosera, really the one on the side of 6 Karma, really just playing by himself, able to find those kills, and Moobs has honestly just been doing exactly that. The Chamber finding a lot of value. And once again, Winthrop University, like, the composition that they're busting out here is not something that is really conventional. And for me, that's kind of where we're starting to see 6 Karma try to learn that style and hopefully adapt to it quickly, because I don't think that they're really used to kind of going up against this type of stuff, and that should square a bit of an advantage for Winthrop University. I am a big believer, maybe it's just because I'm NA-pilled, on WU being able to find some success with this. Usually when they cook something up, it is very successful, and they've got a lot of scrims against very high-octane teams. But yeah, Moobs starting us off once again. Mephisto not able to find anything.
What I assert from this choice is that, like, WU recognizes the speed that they know so many of these teams are going to be playing with, especially starting things out when you're maybe not necessarily getting a read and you just want to run it down on pure confidence, like so many North Americans have. In those situations, you'd rather play with the preventative stuff. You'd rather play purely for the slowdown rather for the intel, because you know 6 Karma's just going to, you know, turn and burn their way through it, you know? So I think you'd rather have something like a Sage Wall or a Trademark and get that guaranteed slowdown than be willing to kind of play for the more sequential post planes. Instead, you have a pack fight. And with this bonus round, WU do have the better guns and the bigger angles, bigger stacks. Ali a 3-piece this round to give them 3 members standing.
Now, we've seen Winthrop University. I mean, me and you, we've seen a lot of Winthrop University's plays.
Yes, sir.
And they have so many of those moments where they feel a little bit discombobulated, like they're going for these plays and it feels like the players aren't working together necessarily. But with how this map is started thus far, it really feels like all the pieces are kind of clicking together. The machine's got all the gears in places and they are firing on all cylinders. And we're going to be seeing a lot more of that teamwork get showcased, like that last round where you see Infiltrator fly out and the rest of Winthrop University is ready to trade off of that player. And so once again, a lot of those fundamentals for Winthrop University honestly are their strengths, and as long as they kind of keep that rock solid, then they're going to be able to continue to find these gaps here as they find a pretty good round. And yeah, Ali does get spotted out by that one. 6 Karma not showing any signs of slowing down just quite yet.
Yeah, with a mechanically reliant composition like this, it's easy to expect what Winthrop University is going to do, but hard to stop them from doing it.
Cover going out.
Been a bit of a status in North America where so many of these packs are kind of easily telegraphed, but they kind of just don't care because they know that they're going to win anyway. Infiltrator, yeah, early to the scene, as you said, willing to be that prong, that spear tip, and that first body.
It's good though, because it forces out a lot of utility from 6 Karma, and all for a little bit of map space. 6 Karma though, no stranger to kind of getting all that util out very early and start those rotations to try and gain map control elsewhere. Looks like they're going to be doing just that. Paranoia and, oh sorry, just the smoke comes out in order to seal off that middle as they take all that space.
It's a good lag behind from Infiltrator to keep a lot of members choked up in elbow and then run back to the pack, but that just means the front line is going to be a little bit slower on the execution of the site itself. Still though, the double sentinel that Winthrop University has makes it tough for them to push forward, and so it's Infiltrator that's got to do it from the back. Here comes Winthrop University all through the market, and it means 6 Karma have a pretty easy visage with the help of this spike getting planted. Still though, Oda Q very pressured, and Mephisto has to swing out with him. Oda Q gets 4, and 6 Karma takes their third round.
Honestly, I was going to say Winthrop University doing a fantastic job of controlling the map. I mean, they pretty much herd 6 Karma towards the other site there. They force the issue, are able to get the backstab online, and yet still 6 Karma, just off of some of those raw mechanics, good communication between those two teams. They make sure that they peak just at the same time, and then we get to see Oda Q pop off. They're kind of feigning that spike multiple times, but this is something that we've seen 6 Karma really start to take advantage of, and it's that clock. They do a great job at going so fast, backing out, going so fast again. It gives plenty of ample opportunity to run, or sorry, they've got that time to keep on fragging.
Risky play with the double ultimate. Now Infiltrator loses his as well. This is such a face plant of a start for the collegiate squad. 6 Karma has taken this baton and just run with it.
Here.
Now they can slow it down, wait for another member of Winthrop to try and come collect, pick up the pieces, make some gap up.
Oh no.
But instead, the Neural Theft will just guarantee all the positions too. 6 Karma are gonna rub the salt in this round.
They're blind with fear.
And still, Tenrek, look at the clock. They still got a minute. They could rotate if they want to. Once again, 6 Karma, great job at just forcing the issue, playing with these timings, making it so confusing for Winthrop University. Like, if you're Winthrop right now, you just got big question marks over what's going on.
How much is behind this? It's pretty clear by now, but it's, once again, very tough to stop. Glyph has to hold solo in his own smoke. Nobody is able to play off of each other with the barrage of players that 6 Karma has on this approach. It's got to be Ali playing off of his wall that at least guarantees one, but everyone could be creeping up at this stage, and Ali can't risk a fight that he can initiate. He has to duck away and give 6K their fourth. Another just blasphemous mistake made by Winthrop University. That is 2 separate walk-ups from the 2 biggest fraggers on the team that heard steps before going into it. And that's your economy too. I mean, that is as big of a collapse here in regulation as you could ask for.
Only getting a couple of bullets out, but the position gives away, so not even able to carry that rifle into that next round. And yeah, you're 100% right. Like, the desk was highlighting Infiltrator, highlighting moves, and it to me really feels like it's that 6 Karma weird, awkward pacing. It's almost making me uncomfortable watching it, just knowing like if you're on Winthrop University side, you're not sure what's happening. Are they going fast? Are they just doing that to try and fake out your utility? Well, we have to reinforce the site just in case. And 6 Karma, honestly, like we saw a lot of their playstyle be so fast, be so furious, but this time around, like it feels like they're just playing with their food a little bit. And that uncomfortability is the reason why we see Infiltrator and Boobs get picked off so early in that last round. So if I'm being honest, I would really chalk this up to Palencino just doing a fantastic job at making these plays and really confusing the opponent.
Yeah, the tempo switching has been a massive boon to 6 Karma, especially when their highs are so high. And the way that Winthrop plays reactively, a lot of the times they're kind of willing to sacrifice. They're willing to play from behind. And it's a bit of a vulnerable position that they've remained in for quite some time this season. And in fact, it was one of the biggest weaknesses that was able to be exploited that led to WU having a relatively weaker third and final split this year. Has the rhythm shifted so hard for other teams that they can just blow through what Winthrop has to offer? Because that individuality can spring up out of nowhere with the composition they have. Moves can play alone, Ollie can play alone, Infiltrator can play alone. And yet, no singular presence has felt super viable yet.
So you say that, but I will have to push back a little bit because I do think that we have been seeing them at least find a couple of timings there and start to pull things back together. I mean, obviously, it looks worse in hindsight when you get picked off so early on here.
That last round was just a tough one, dude.
Yeah, like that timeout really should have been the call for Winthrop University now to try and tighten those things up. You know, pull the players back on the leash just a little bit more so we can play that coordinated game that we expect from Winthrop University and then slowly let them off the leash as you start to get more comfortable. Don't forget, 6 Karma, very comfortable coming into this series, given the fact that they just had a sweep up against the Red Canids, and they're used to this environment and they know they're shooting well.
Yeah, they've gotten that vindication in Hosera. How about a little more? Nice snap on the Infiltrator to give them the gap. Against a pistol round like this, definitely not going to be as boastful, but still going to remain as patient before they go for their full send. As Winthrop could be as stacked as they want to, especially with this preventative util that Ali has set up on the A site, but he is alone, and he is able to get Mephisto, even while short-sighted. Holds a second angle, no dice. Next one, extended Hosera once again, and now he's up for 3. You gotta remember, the guy's normally on this controller when he's not playing the chamber.
I almost wonder whether or not this was Winthrop University trying to get a little bit silly with it, you know, play off those walls, go for those weird spaces, just because with the barrier orbs, I mean, we haven't really seen them get utilized in cutting off that much space. We see them get set up a little bit earlier on, but you know what, Moobs, at least making this a 1v2. OTQ, though, does have the Rolling Thunder if things get that dire.
Yeah, you have so many backup tools here. This will be around for 6K for sure. It's just how much Moves can take along the way. And he can't take a thing. Too much to watch. A lot of really great guarantees that 6 Karma set up make a lot of the post plan a bit of a triviality, which is huge because I think post plants are so key to the defense that Winthrop has, especially with Governor. You have to get so much bang for your buck out of stuff like the Prowlers. And if you can't make any space, then Infiltrator has to do all of that himself. And it's so tough to do against 6 Karma.
Yeah, it honestly really is. I mean, obviously on the 6 Karma side, we've been highlighting a couple of their players, Mephisto, as well as Hosera, but at the same time, like, OTQ's kind of been farming so far on this map. And even on the last series, like, OTQ's been really feeling good with the aim. And so while we can lean on our obvious picks for who on 6 Karma are going to be really carrying things, right now, OTQ has been kind of exceeding expectations. A lot of that utility has been well-timed in order to either set up the people or then playing on these weird angle or weird timings and finding a multi-kill in order to just seal the door on Winthrop University. Like, I remind you of that, I think it was the second round where it looked like Winthrop was coming back. It was OTQ who was the one who went out there and found a triple kill to really make sure that that didn't happen.
Yeah, I think OTQ has been swinging off of himself, off his own fault lines a tiny bit more, and Winthrop is just not seeing it coming at all. He's been getting as confident as the rest of these 6 Karma members deserve to be at this stage in the match. they're at the point where they had such a dominant victory over Red Canids that if they win this map here, they're safe in the group stage. They're in Ascension. They're good because Red Canids can't make up that 3-map gap. Infiltrator watching staunchly, but too many members in your way. Nice reactive Nightfall tossed in by Governor to kind of clear the board a tiny bit, but you still have to walk forward on it, and Peloncito is playing the gatekeeper. Both members trying to work around this glyph smoke that's been set up. It's a little farther back, so 6K can confidently step into it. Ollie using this res in mid, so WU will go for a second phase post plant, but again, that's where it seems like 6 Karma feels so much more strong. Flashpoint to allow this corner swing. Mephisto's good for his moves. Can only take that space back, and it's the double Sentinel that has to end up making all this space on site. And OdaQ is still keyed in. Moves already too far in to save this operator. Has to commit, and there's one down. Still certainly some time to make this clutch happen, and it feels a little more realistic than the previous round, but yet again, you have so many other angles to watch. Both here on the main swing, and after the spike has been tapped twice, Moves realizes his goose is cooked. 6K's not gonna bend or break. It's 6-1.
Wow, what a crazy round coming in from both of those teams there. Like, really just gotta throw it everything at the wall. We saw Rolling Thunder come out there, met with the Nightfall. Oda's able to still form up so many orbs. And yeah, Moves kind of just going through there. A little bit of a blunder with that operator, but immediately makes it back with the swap around headshot headhunter. Unbelievable kind of stuff coming out from that individual player. But once again, like, it just really feels like everything is clicking with 6 Karma. That last round, Winthrop University felt like they had a real chance because one of the biggest boons that 6 Karma always has is kind of that clock. That time around, Winthrop University did a good job at keeping them out, making them have to play down that timing so that it's awkward for them to take that space on the site. But still, Winthrop University not able to get across the line. So they're going to be reduced down to just pistols, Stinger, and, well, Moves still has that sniper rifle. But still, this is a tough ask.
Infiltrator trying to cause some chaos to force out some early util. But again, 6 Karma, I think their ability to just kind of hold back until they want to play their way, fully util dump their way, has been really impressive. And again, with Moobs kind of being the only available linchpin, and now he's by himself. Feels like the dominoes can start crumbling again if 6 Karma have their way.
6 Karma still playing things slow, but once again, still just under a minute here, so plenty of time to play around. Moves, operator in hand, all the way onto that A side, but 6 Karma really looking to pressure market right now. We'll be going in here. Infiltrator's got a lot to work off of.
Feels like one of the stronger points for Winthrop to be able to hold from, but yeah, just dipping into it too early. 6K ready as always. Peloncito just gonna clear out with the Hunter's Fury. Doesn't even have to look at it. Still playing it safe. They haven't even had to delve into the scary stuff yet. And Moobs is just gonna
Spike planted.
Run wee all the way back home.
Yeah, like at this point, like when 6 Karma attacks some of those sites, it doesn't really feel like Winthrop University have necessarily an answer for how things are going. Obviously, this time around, a little bit more clear because the pistols were existent and Moobs, the person with the sniper rifle, the big scary gun, was all the way onto the other site. But there's so many opportunities and slip-throughs that we're seeing right now that 6 Karma are more than happy to jump on. And if Moobs loses this rifle, it's not the worst thing in the world just because should have enough to be able to get things, but with the information given away, yeah, that's gonna be 6 Karma right now, 7-1, looking as confident as ever and ready to win this map. That, once again, this is Winthrop University's map pick.
Another break point, and so early into this day, like 6 Karma may have to play just 3 maps to guarantee their spot in Ascension. It has been such an impressive run out the gate, and in an environment like this where it's so sudden death, where it's all happening in one day, getting ahead is everything, and seems like having the opening 2 matches has been a complete boon for 6 Karma. If they can extend this gap exponentially on this attack half, it may not matter how well WU can set their own tempo. Mephisto now caught by the trip up. WU sticking to those guns and getting rewarded this time for it. Tough call by Peloncito, but they can at least reset with the amount of time that they still have.
I mean, I guess that's kind of why you have those walk-ups that we kind of were a little bit harsh on, because you can kind of catch those opportunities. What I like there, though, is the combo of utility. Governor tossing out the Prowler to guarantee that information, and so Infiltrator doesn't have to just run in blindly. They know that there's somebody there, and so just hold that left mouse button. You're probably going to get rewarded with something. And now 6 Karma, they're missing the tip of the spear. At the same time, with how OdaQ and Yozera has been playing, 6 Karma, they're definitely not out of this one just quite yet.
Still so many checkpoints to clear. A lot more patience from WU this time around. And Infiltrator, okay, now we'll slide back. Stack, crunch moves, finds the gap on the fault line. And those are the moments that you just can't miss out on. That's everything for Winthrop.
30 seconds left.
Well, Hoser is able to at least get the spike here. Probably will make a run at it, given how dominant this first round has been. So, economically speaking, should be okay. But, well, it's going to be running out. Honestly, just a great job, Winthrop University, this time around. Whoa, okay, hold on a second.
One more gun? No, okay. Still, yeah, good fighting put up, for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's simple. It's simple mistakes like that the other way that can just throw this apart. Everyone at this point in Ascension is so mechanically skilled. Like, there is such little room for error. If you miss pockets like that, you are so done.
Yeah, and once again, like, speaking of missing pockets here, the fact that Hoser is able to kind of make that damage happen, especially like that far into the round, like, that's kind of scary if you're Winthrop University, but at this point, you should know that. And I gotta say, like, with how Winthrop University are playing right now, specifically on that last round, they are looking for more of those moments to kind of disrupt 6 Karma in their execution of things. We saw that this really was the linchpin of how 6 Karma were playing. Like, when they get disrupted, that's when you see things kind of fall apart and you're able to find a pick here, find a pick there. And that last round, once again, showcased Winthrop University what their win condition has to be.
Walk up on Ozera on that lurk. So you have no smokes now. It's got to once again be Sabor with these cyber cages that play actively into any cover. Other than that, you just got to duel it out. So you would wonder why WU is placing 2 so close to this drone on A site. Infiltrator wants to double dip. Now lack of intel, and 6 Karma relocating fully to the courtyard. Should be the breakout to top again.
And yeah, it seems like they're going to be doing just that. Trademark should be able to spot that one out or give that information this time around. No one there really to punish, but still will be running into this double senti.
Oh, moves. Catching one. Ollie ready with the front line on the other, and 6 Karma has been stopgapped. Ollie extends. And it's WU that finds every ounce of timing this round. Sabor only good for 1 moves. That TDF ripped a hole through this round. And out of nowhere, game becomes far more realistic for WU.
And this is one of those things where it might have just been a little bit of a warm-up. We saw earlier moves kind of missing some of those very key shots. A little bit uncharacteristic coming in from that Sentinel, but this time around, Moobs has really been shooting and currently is tied for the most number of kills in the lobby with OdaQ, standing at 13 kills apiece. That time around too, I just want to say Winthrop University, like, the reason why they've been losing a lot of those duels are the stack-ups from 6 Karma. But as long as they take them head-to-head, I think they can kind of come out on top.
Infiltrator yet again getting ahead of things, and this time it's Ho that gets active. First blood goes the other way. That's the toss-up that Winthrop have been able to fully springboard off of before. Now you have to find a new one. And that tile presence so early on, WU may have to lean defensively. They're going to be forced to kind of doubly watch B main, especially after Sabor, again, making a bit of a ruckus here. 6 Karma trying to pull apart WU like taffy on this sunset again. Spread the resources as thin as they can because those resources are strong.
Neural Theft is going to give a lot of information here, so they know that this B side is going to be where to attack, and Glyph, rightfully so, backs out of here and waits for the rest of the team to come back together, but they know that Sabor is somewhere else on the map, and so they have to be watching for that.
He's going to be in this duel with Moobs. Oh, and Governor's help. In fact, the Prowler's going to give it away. Oh, but not show that he's here, so a little extra time taken, and Moobs now turning away. Sabor, first turn, now you're stalled, now you're beaten. Governor the refrag. But still, again, you're late to the party. 3v4. WU have very little to enter with. Haunt immediately shot down, Mephisto given away. Joe doesn't care though. 2v1, win it. Another Rolling Thunder reactively tossed by OdaQ to turn this to a 2v1 and make it a guarantee again. Governor, no time, no way. It's a saved Phantom and a lost hope here in round 11. 6 Karma rounding out regulation attack.
Yeah, just a great round from 6 Karma once again. Like, the point that I was trying to make in that last round is when Winthrop University try and force, moves or force Infiltrator to just kind of run in there and take those duels, or honestly, even sometimes Governor, they run into 2 or 3 players from 6 Karma. We're seeing a lot more of that group up coming through from 6 Karma, making sure that they either win out the battle or they've got someone immediately around the corner to kind of trade. And Winthrop University's style tends to be a little bit more on that individual pop-up. They're hoping for their single player to go in there, find a little bit of value, and be able to successfully escape with some utility to kind of support that. But if that player gets shut down, then a lot of that kind of play style goes to the wayside, and suddenly 6 Karma have so much more of an advantage in just pure numbers on the map.
Final round and a half. Nobody on 6K close to an ulti. So it's going to be a little more defaulting, see if they can get away with an early pick-off. Noise made on A main to force Glyph to cycle the smokes on this side, but with Ollie able to throw up his wall whenever, again, feels like mid is going to be that weak point that 6K end up exploiting first.
And when we saw what happens when Winthrop University try to see some of that mid control back, we set up the Omega Tower earlier with the Sage Wall too, but wasn't able to really deter them, and they at least spot out where Ali has been. They're going to be taking their talents over to this A side, though.
Palancito with a very interesting insert here in the market. With the wall shrouding him, it's tough to know if he's going to be able to get any room here. No, he's not. That being said, Mephisto making a lot of room onto the A side. Glyph somehow stopping that. The guy's on 8 HP now and waiting for Ali to get back with that orb. Meanwhile, 6K will just double back to the B side, and now Palancito will turn this into a take. He's all the way back in Boba. And so Winthrop University feel like it's going to be more of a top mid snake. Tiny bit of slowdown, 13 seconds to go. Spike on the way here. It's going to have just enough time to go down. WU, it seems like they want to fight it out, but they're not prepared for Palancito. The slide in stop, but the rest of the fight still in the back.
Oh, Sabor.
Yeah, watch that flank. Not much time to work with, but he will do it. Moves on the market. With this operator, it's still got to be slow and sequential. That's the moment for Sabor to find Glyph. And now Moves has to turn on to that quickly. But Joe gets the position because of it and stabs him in the back. It's down to OdaQ on the spike, who can deal with Ollie himself. And it's a 9-3 half for 6 Karma.
Great stuff coming through from 6 Karma. Like Winthrop University, it doesn't feel like they're as comfortable as what's going on there. I mean, allowing Sabor so much space in the back there to make it so that it's so much easier for them to be able to push through. And while they do have some of these moments of brilliance in those micro plays, and shout out to casting the smoke to give you another second of life from Glyph, but once again, it just simply isn't enough. Even with Moobs trying his damnedest to pull the team across the line. Right now, we're seeing a lot of these players that we normally would have expected from Winthrop University to be able to pull their own and really just kind of fly things through. Well, they simply just haven't been able to come online just quite yet.
6 Karma just a couple rounds away from guaranteeing their spot in the Swiss stage. We got to chat with more of Brazil's best. It's Prizzy on the floor.
Tô aqui com o prizezão da Riot Games, da hora, mano, suave, tá aí desde o começo, desde o comecinho do show?
Tô desde o começo aqui, tá maneirão.
Saudadezinha de Ascension ou nada a ver?
Putz, saudade, hein, mano, época boa, né?
É, então pra você foi melhor ainda, né? Enfim, mano, você foi um dos poucos caras que lá no Revelando Área falou, mano, esse LAN, os caras vão dar trabalho, a gente treinou e o caramba, os caras não são tão abaixo assim não. E agora realmente estão amassando, então você já esperava isso aqui?
Cara, sendo sincero, eu não esperava, mas LAN é diferente, né? Os caras da 6 Karma estão muito bem preparados, o main tá muito forte. E surpreendeu no primeiro jogo, né?
E a gente tem ganhado a Winthrop depois, meio que tem que torcer pra 6 Karma vencer e ganhar a Winthrop depois. Pelo que você viu do jogo dos caras, dá pra nós suave, dá pra Red passar, como é que vai?
Tá, a Red vai ganhar, vai passar o carro, 2-0 Red contra o Winthrop.
Você acha que esse tempinho é extremamente importante para os caras poderem voltar, mentalidade e ficar suave?
Sim, sim. Eles vão rever, né, o que erraram, vão voltar com a cabeça boa aí e vão ganhar. Tenho certeza que vai passar.
É isso, eu vou tentar tirar a informação dele aqui, o que vai acontecer agora, quem que chegou no vidinho dele pra fazer tryout, aquelas coisas. E digo mais, se ouvirem barulho aqui da arena, é o Luke Show gritando, tá? Essa é a realidade. Não para, vai com vocês.
Luke Joe, Prizzy, the rest of the Brazilian audience laying in wait for their comrades in red Canids to try to prove that they belong in the Swiss stage. But in the meanwhile, 6 Karma only a couple rounds away from guaranteeing their spot in it. With 3 maps total, they will absolutely do better than red Canids ever could here in the round robin, guaranteeing their spot at least the 17th marks. Winthrop have a lot of work to do to make sure they don't have to go to sudden death in a moment.
Yeah, but it feels like that's such a tall task for them in the moment. Obviously, we are going to be seeing them now swap sides here. And at that point, you never really know how things can go. I do feel like I'm a little bit more confident in the Winthrop University attack just in general. However, swapping Ali onto the Sage for this matchup has me raising my eyebrows a little bit. Like, I want to see some, I don't know, some crazy walls and crazy plays, because I think that maybe that is what they were hoping to cook up here.
Oh, well, Mephisto is going to get the first poke out after Governor sticks his head. But it will be traded out, so Hosera gone. And yet again, 6 Karma don't have a way to smoke things out, so Winthrop University realized they could turn up the gas, and Infiltrator will turn that into a kill onto Peloncito. Infiltrator now walled away. With the help of Ali, he's able to turn that into a second onto Sabor. And Winthrop University carve out their own angle by any means necessary. Lower health pool than they'd like, but 6 Karma have a 2v4 ahead of them.
Yeah, I mean, unexpected to say the least, but this time around, it just felt like, forget the whole macro play, let's just kind of go in guns ablazing, and we're going to be able to win that one out. And suddenly they're in a much winnable scenario for this pistol round to go their way, as time continuing to tick down. Mephisto and OTQ up against the rest of the Winthrop boys.
Seeing if anybody extends that first fault line to force Ollie to double back, but only an inch, and there's just no real way to approach this against the Sage when you can cycle those slow orbs. So you have to approach through market instead, and that lets WU go for the full reset positionally. Again, if you play this as sequentially as you did on attack, WU is going to be able to beat you to the punch every step of the way. And with the 2 best fraggers on the team, the pistol round is taken by the Eagles.
Yeah, and once again, like we get a little bit of a taste of the Winthrop magic on that round, right? Like they just are not afraid to just kind of send things out. Well, if you look at the minimap, they're still taking space on one of the sites as to how they want to actually engage there. Originally, how that one played out should have not necessarily been the best for Winthrop University, but they make the best situation out of it, and they've got each other's backs, demonstrated by the kill Ali watching it. And just like that, Winthrop University, they scoop up that pistol round. The first step in potentially winning out their map choice here. Still 5 rounds separating these 2 teams. They will have bought up on this round. And 6 Karma, let's see what they've got here on their defense.
Yet again, Mephisto, early on this, got the first blood in the first round of this half. Ready with OTQ setup on the fault line. It's a crunch as long as you have the intel, but those Prowlers make it so much tougher to strike first. Moves. Gonna take it and win it. Mephisto is down. The fault line in response. Moves the only one available to even receive it. And yet you don't collapse, you don't respond, and Winthrop is already out of there.
Yeah. Like, once again, if you look at the space that they've now taken, already moving on at the site, they know at least one person's back here. It's Peloncito. But Spike should go down pretty easy. Never mind.
At least Peloncito can't make it any farther, and Governor will be the one to hold it down. But this is definitely, I think, emblematic of how Winthrop University will need to approach a lot of this attack, especially with that double Sentinel. Is just breaking the ankles of 6 Karma, forcing the lean, and then juking them out. And then holding it down with a player like Moobs.
Teleport's ready.
Get one more. Come on. All right, Ali's got it. So 5-9 now for Winthrop University. And again, it's very easy to see what they're going to do, but very hard to stop them from doing it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you know, you kind of know what to expect when it comes to this, but what I'm seeing and I'm liking a little bit more from Winthrop University is, and once again, this might just be because they are on the attack side, this is their time to kind of take the fights when they want to take the fights, right? You see Six Karma forced into a position where they have to play a little bit more reactive. And I think that that is a better positioning for Winthrop University to win out some of these rounds, is when they're the ones who are like, okay, we need to clear here, we're going to be pushing in here. And if Six Karma is just waiting to defend, they're going to get overpowered.
And yet again, Mephisto playing checkpoint number 1. Now you have the duality of the elbow in checkpoint number 2 to try to counteract the stack, and it will do a decent bit of work, but still Winthrop can just burn through, and they in fact have a personnel advantage and rifles on the board now. This is all they need to manifest momentum. It comes out of nowhere, and 6K, like you said, they play to themselves as humbly as this defense has started out, and they'll get turned into tatters.
And, you know, it's so funny because we've been talking a lot about how Infiltrator likes to play, right? Comparing Infiltrator to Mephisto in that head-to-head kind of the duelists there, and, you know, just sending in, you know, they're going to go absolutely crazy, try and make some absolutely insane plays come across. And Winthrop University have actually kind of adapted themselves to Infiltrator's playstyle. There's been multiple times now where we see them basically be like, all right, Infiltrator, go in and do your thing. And then they're ready to come in there and sweep up the crumbs because they know that Infiltrator is just going to get traded out. But it opens up just a little bit more space and allows for some more kills that Winthrop University look a lot more confident when they do walk into some of those sites. And so I kind of like this new like play style of, I wouldn't call it baiting Infiltrator, but it kind of is just like, all right, go do your thing, buddy. We'll be here when you need us type of deal. And they're playing intelligently off of it.
Again, and you notice the little things that Winthrop does to try to facilitate that as much as they can. You'll see Glyph places smokes a couple inches to the left or the right to make sure that Infiltrator can get like a wanton weird rotation on his slides. And then, like you said, they put a dome over that attack from Infiltrator. Regardless of whether he's dead or not, the environment is going to become theirs. Governor can use his Prowlers to gain all that passive space kind of for free. And then from there, you can kind of just lock it down with the double senti and set up shop. Again, that requires getting ahead of the conversation, though. And so if Six Karma are able to get the read on this, and if they're able to start playing a little more reactively, start meeting them as a stack themselves, then it gets a lot more dangerous. I think the problem comes that they're trying to gain intel so early in that. They're trying to read the stack more than they're trying to read the fact that they're going for the post plan. I think Six Karma needs to be far more satisfied with giving away space in the first 20 to 30 seconds of this, because so far, it feels like they've been playing on that first step so often, and Winthrop just keeps tripping them up.
It's like they're two sides of the same coin, you know, because earlier that's what we were saying about Winthrop University. Like Boobs and Infiltrator, oh, they're going a little bit too far forwards and just kind of throwing their life away. And on the other side, it's Mephisto this time, who's just kind of going in there and throwing his life away. And we don't like to see that necessarily, but once again, that just kind of shows just how similar these teams are compositionally, but also play style wise. And this is why this is such an interesting matchup. Now 3 rounds separating Winthrop from potentially catching up to Six Karma, with which, once again, if you watch that first half, you wouldn't have expected the scoreline to be that close. It really looked like Six Karma were just rolling over Winthrop University.
And this climb back is very classic Winthrop University. Very much like them to make it look a lot closer in the second half. But can they bring it to completion and keep Six Karma on their toes here in the round robin? Again, they're +4, plus, what, 24 against Red Canids right now. They are so above out the gate off of that first match. For Winthrop to even cut them down a little bit would mean massive things for the future and the final match here. Red Canids, they are sweating in that back room for sure.
Very passive defense again from Six Karma, but unlike Six Karma on the attack, Winthrop University are running out of time, so they have to commit here. They've chosen the right site. They're going to be walking only into Hosera. I stopped myself there because, well, this is the one player who's been doing amazing, but Moobs shuts that down. Moobs, the player on Winthrop University who's really dragging him across the finish line.
And everybody else has been walled away. But this is, again, in a perfect world, how you'd like to have things set up. The problem is the Sage Wall, yeah, narrows that door, forces a bottleneck, and with the worst guns, yeah, really tough to be able to make any dent here. Subor will at least get rid of Ali, but no reason to not play the close to it this time, especially if you have the shorty with you. So it's just a 2-round gap as Winthrop University continues to excavate on this attack and dig up gold.
Yeah, and once again, like, we're seeing the Sage kind of get played there. You know, As soon as the spike goes down, you see it's really fast on how Winthrop University attack. Use that barrier orb, set it up, just at least stall out one of the lanes, and then just toss down the slow orbs. And it's just so frustrating for 6 Karma to be able to push back into that. Regardless, though, this time around, Mephisto coming in with the operator in hand. This is going to be a different look we haven't seen all day. And given the playstyle that we've seen Mephisto kind of take on, the Neon that just kind of runs things down into your face and nice and flashy gets a kill, the operator really changes up how you want to play that agent. Winthrop University, though, they decide to move themselves over towards this B site. They will be running into Sabor, but should be easier for them to be able to break their way in and get that spike down, as actually the defense on 6 Karma is moving around until the gunshots get heard.
Good centrality that 6K can play, but with that Neon operator, there's such little mobility. So again, the individual responsibility for people like Sabor is so much higher, and Ollie can just use that res to cycle through. The push is going to happen whether 6K likes it or not. Infiltrator gets the spike down, and now Winthrop University can poke and prod in the post plant until they have enough advantage they're satisfied with to fully play from main. Here comes Mephisto with that operator on the backstab, though, and Chamber and Sage means no flank watch. So someone has to turn to it, which means the rest of 6 Karma would love to do some extra damage at the meantime, but no one can do a damn thing. It's a flawless round 17 after the res here for WU, and that is everything spent by 6 Karma. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, and you know, this is one of those rounds where, sure, a lot of ultimates get utilized from the side of Winthrop University. You even hear the Fade voice line go out, face your ugh, because Governor gets killed on the way in. But it's all worth it, just simply because you can keep this momentum rolling. 5 rounds in a row now for Winthrop University. 1 round to tie things up. And one player right now that I want to highlight is actually Glyph. Playing off of a lot more of this verticality on that Omen has kind of caught 6 Karma off guard a couple of times in those post plants. And so once again, that just adds another variable into the equation that 6 Karma has to consider in that post plant positioning, which just once again gives Winthrop University a bit more of an advantage. Speaking of advantages, the weapons right now heavily favoring Winthrop University to be able to tie up our series.
Yeah, this feels inevitable. More than practiced enough, and 6 Karma have yet to really offer any decent replies, unfortunately, especially on these ecos. Feels like Winthrop can again just set up shop too quick. Moves. Very brazen with this operator.
I say wouldn't have it any other way, but
yeah,
might get
really
caught by
leaving
a
him
bit of
be.
this utility here.
This is like, he's very by himself at the moment. Huh, okay.
There goes the
And
move
no
stick.
one... Oh, that's such tough timing, dude. Wow. All right, well, it goes unpunished, and WU does take the A side here. So it feels like we're all good to go for 9-9, right? Infiltrator is going to pop that overdrive, make sure that no one's early to this. Interesting. And that'll get drained already. So now you have no ults to respond. You do have some really good lineups, though. So again, this should be pretty cut and dry.
We tend to dust.
Paranoia in from Hosera. First push stopped in. Mephisto does nothing. Sees more slowdown. Governor playing off of himself. That does get traded out by ODQ. Smoke will get set up to prevent moves from being able to do anything, but the rest of Winthrop University is securely playing on site, and Glyph mows it down. He's got his ulti for next round.
Man, I'm feeling good about the fact that I just highlighted Glyph that previous round. But that time around, not playing off the verticality, but Winthrop University in their post plants have looked really, really, really darn good up against 6 Karma. And I think that that is part of a testament to like why we see them play the way that they are. I'll give it up a little bit of a wave there, understanding that the comeback is very much underway, but like you said, using the ultimate from the Neon, just overdriving their way past into the backline to try and apply additional pressure. Make it so that 6 Karma, even the fact that they got that weapon disadvantage, have to slow their roll just a little bit more. And because they have to slow things down, it gives ample opportunity for Winthrop University to set up exactly how that they want. They're using their utility to slow the retake down, which allows Winthrop to play the game how they want it, and even, once again, take the initiation when they want to take the fight to 6 Karma. And this is how Winthrop University now has caught up and completely kind of flipped the script here on 6 Karma, as it will be 6 Karma taking their time out.
It feels like the right time to in this round where, again, you're kind of back on that precipice where you can dial things back. And I mean, you got 5 bloody ults on the table, man. Come on, do something.
Would be ashamed if they died without using them.
I mean, yeah, if WU can really start exposing the empty bits here, then they'll not only take the lead, they will secure this map and keep 6 Karma on the chopping block. A necessary thing to do for Winthrop University to guarantee their own spot in Ascension itself. Mephisto standing on this B main. On business. Give him one.
Yeah.
Glyph, that's your elbow! Cam next up. Great checkpoints, but Moobs cuts through on Market, gets Sabor. Still got to deal with this operator, though. And you don't have any smokes to stop him from looking through them. Rolling Thunder in response. Yeah, just give him everything to slow this down. Aftershock forces Moobs' rotation. Mephisto catches Ollie on the swing to cover. And this is some good homework on the timeout done. O to Q. This feels inevitable that he gets this, right? No one is locking at this box. O to Q. Gives it a 4v2. Infiltrator can't match Mephisto. And the stabilizing round comes at the perfect moment. El Demonio! A 4K for the Neon. That bot frag starting to climb up the ranks.
And that was one of the things the desk highlighted, you know, setting up Mephisto and Yoa to be able to find great opportunity. And Mephisto that time, highlight play kind of coming through with the operator there. Just hanging out on the back of the site. Simply cannot be taken out or removed because of the utility that came through. And the fact that Glyph's elbow does get caught right at the beginning there because of the animation makes it even more difficult to go. And then once again, just an excellent job from OTQ, making sure to use that utility to kind of fish out the other members of Winthrop University. Don't give them any extra ground. Speaking of operator battles across the map, Mephisto on top moves down. And 6 Karma, they are once again in the lead here on Sunset.
Huge start for 6 Karma. Getting theirs back. And still 3 rounds away from guaranteeing a spot in that Switch stage. Winthrop forced to slow it down again, finding the right moment to proc that overwhelming barrage. Now Sands up on the flank watch. It's got to be all on Ali to show for the rest of this group in. Sabor ahead, Infiltrator, quick to the punch, and the Nightfall from Governor will not be interrupted this time. Infiltrator having to do so much to cut through this. Mephisto pops the overdrive and is blinded, but OTQ is here in time to play from Boba, and 6 Karma again stabilize! Now it's Mephisto playing off of OTQ's previous spot in the round, and vice versa, the jump peak to guarantee Governor's spot, but now you're a little bit stuck on the site. In fact, everybody is. Rosera with the flank, and Ali is prepared. Turns it to a 3v2. Governor trying to get forward. Lesson this gap, finds Mephisto. The double turn on Boba! Lessons into a 1v1, and Ali picks it up right after that spike gets held. Perfection in timing goes the way of the collegiate team, and we are tied at 10.
Amazing kind of glow up here from Governor. Obviously, Governor, in his history in Valorant, has bounced around quite a few regions, but originally was on that duelist role for just kind of those unbelievable plays, those unbelievable moments, and we get treated to another Governor special. So, Governor, a little bit quiet on this map, but makes magic happen. Of course, Elite getting the first kill, but then Governor just knows that they got to take that fight forwards, at least by a little bit of time, to make sure that Ali is able to find the spike plant and have a bit more time to be able to reposition. Great stuff from Winthrop University to tie us up 10-10 now, as 6 Karma, well, they're sent back to Goodwill to try and get their guns together. It's going to be pistols across the board, except for Zabor, who's bringing in that stinger. And so Winthrop University, another round in front of them, and they've done a great job of getting a lot of those 6 Karma ults off the table so that they don't have anything to work with.
That early first blood, not a factor this time.
Right here.
So Winthrop will take far more control of mid. Smoke out top as well. El Encinto prompted to use this recon dart after the jump is heard into the steps. trying to find the right place to compress. Ali gaining a lot of attention over here as the market crunch is inevitable, and O2Q is also given so much individual responsibility, but off of the fault line, he's able to do it. Sabor holding down Ali as well, and now 6K can play fully on the site, but Governor, yet again, is here, sticking comma after comma onto the fight. How about an exclamation point? Sabor! That's the statement piece that 6K needed on the other side. And we're reset again. Moves, the only one standing after O2Q turns Glyph with the Sheriff. A 1v3 with this Outlaw. Now turned into the rifle. O2Q, a crumb of health. Hosera, a mere Sheriff. Both teams working on scrapes, but WU have 12 seconds to work with. Moves has to stick this, and against 3.
There's no
Moves
way.
almost does it! How do you even beat that high-low let again? Make it so much closer after the fact. A couple more micrometers, and the guy could have done it. But it's 6 Karma that are at 11-10.
Better guy at a loss of words of some of the plays that we're seeing. First, we see the Governor heat up, and then Sabors is able to find a cheeky little double kill, and then Rifle not out, and Moves almost makes that one work in the 1v3. It's up to O2Q just at the on and off angle to be able to win that one out. Otherwise, the swing around would have been perfect, but still 6 Karma. They find the round, find the advantage that they need. It's going to be Winthrop University forcing the issue on this other side. Mephisto, sniper rifle in hand, ready to receive that pressure.
Tried to amp it up, see if anybody from 6 Karma was chomping at the bit. Both these economies locked and loaded. Both the ult cycles looking decent. WU the effective 6v5 if they get the pack fight, but Moobs has already inserted up to top mid yet again, this time all alone. How much of a presence has been conditioned at this point? How much does 6 Karma want to end up stopping? How dangerous is this step in at the end of the day if WU don't have any presence on the front lines? Seems like 6K is willing to recline and let WU do the talking until we hit the 45-second mark.
Information given up, and you see 6 Karma ready to just kind of be aware of where Moves is. Mephisto misses the shot there, which is kind of huge, but at least Moves gets taken down.
Moves missing his too. Mephisto pressured ultimately by that relay bolt after he tossed out his own, so Winthrop University is stalled, but not stopped. And Pilancito now way more alone than he'd like to be. That island smoked.
30 seconds left.
And now linked with the aftershock. Stepping into it, Glyph! No one from 6K expects it! And 6K stepping back through the smoke. O2Q and Josera. Stopped by Ali. He uses the time on that kill to get the res. Sabor sprays right back through it. 2v2 with Governor still walled out. 10 seconds that's held on to. And O2Q will not bend. Very little util. Governor! So much to let Ali do the work! And yet again, it's that initiator, that fade, that is able to string it all together. Never the loudest, but always the proudest.
Unbelievable stuff. That's 2 rounds now that we've seen Ali and Governor kind of step up, play so well off of each other to be able to clutch things up for the rest of the team. Obviously, Moves has been putting on a masterclass. Infiltrator doing a great job of getting the space, but when all is said and done, Governor and Lee have really stepped themselves up on these final parts of the round here, being able to win things out for Winthrop University. Make a wish. We're at 11-11 now. Winthrop University tie things up against 6 Karma. With how things are going, it's looking like Winthrop University might be the first team to get themselves onto map point here, as it is going to be just the Sheriff buy up on the side of 6 Karma, looking for one of the 2 cheeky little kills to make it so that they've got the advantage yet again.
A pivotal map regardless of where this match goes. For 6K, a guarantee into the 17th. That Swiss stage, that top 8 for the WU. An early step into the lead against the remaining 2 teams in this round robin that they have to hold for the long haul after Red Canids gets that rest. It's a much bigger presence in top mid this time around on top of the pistols, and it will pay off. Glyph, now braggadocious, please, please not me. But 6K gets their own crunch and is actually going to be kind of quick to the issue. 3v3 with some rifles picked up. Mephisto given another opportunity to whisper back in this flank. And as the spike ticks away, he'll actually completely duck off it when Governor comes to meet him too. Now Infiltrator stepping in, Pelancito, frag back. And now the remaining presence for WU is in main. 6K, another reset positionally. And Mephisto still just this pistol. And it's all on him. Governor meets it early. Yet again, the initiator digging the claws in the final hour. It's gonna have to be him again. Against the IGL, the other initiator, the
Really?
Nightfall will get used. Paloncito sticking half. A dink on a Governor, potentially no. Governor turns it, it doesn't matter. Paloncito holds, but there's no time. Governor played it through the deafen and gives them game point.
Wow, I'm going to be honest with you. I was not expecting the Nightfall to come out in kind of that desperate scenario, but, you know, going up against Paloncito, who's been just frying lately, is the right call just to guarantee yourself onto that map point. And now things get a lot more interesting here. Couple of missed timings coming out. Governor still being as strong as ever. Some really just the course of this map started out really on the low side, but has really become kind of the linchpin in Winthrop University, winning so many of these rounds on their attack. And we're already getting things started off. Moobs can't see a gosh darn thing.
Oh, and Mephisto's gonna be able to find Glyph on the other angle from the market. He peeked out of that door with the operator to the tiles. 6 Karma getting brazen just to get by. At WU, in response, they have to sack OTQ. That flash catches 3. Gives Joe a little extra time. No TP out from him. It's going to be the Aftershock to stall. The overdrive stop by Ozera. Rolling Thunder in response. Governor steps into it. Ozera stunned. Doesn't matter. Paloncito and OTQ get theirs. And in mere seconds, we keep going past regulation here on Sunset.
Yeah, a lot of ultimates in the pocket of 6 Karma on that round. And I'm going to be honest with you, it looked like Winthrop University just really didn't have any breaks there. They were so committed, so sure that they were going to be able to roll over 6 Karma. A lot more of those mistakes coming through, a lot more of just the single person pushing out, no support, and well, 6 Karma ready to hop on it. Of course, when we talk about the differences and how we wanted to see Winthrop University kind of pull things together, I mentioned it. They need to pull in the leash just a little bit more and then kind of tighten up a lot more of these plays. Otherwise, 6 Karma are going to be able to find their opportunities nice, clean, and easy. And so we find ourselves in this overtime scenario. Both of these teams unwilling to yield anything. Let's see who comes out on top.
These stakes are as cutthroat as it can get. One of the teams that is playing today has to leave. Mephisto in the op duel against Moobs. Winthrop wins it. And plays Doorman yet again here on B main. All eyes on Sabor. Can he get any crossover? Can he facilitate a rotation? There's 100 seconds left to do this. All the way through.
I like this from Winthrop University this time, just kind of checking a lot more of these angles, especially with the operator. I mean, 6 Karma walked into it, unfortunately meaning that things get a lot more difficult. Still though, minute left, this is when they start to engage.
Paloncito relegated to the drone to guarantee positions. It's a good smoke to force out market. Winthrop playing close with this operator though. Moves taking some pot shots. And Winthrop just having to hyperextend in all the other extremities. Ollie on the way back to make this a full-fledged 5v4 as the spike starts toiling away.
Winthrop University, though.
Not ready yet.
All the people alive here, probably waiting for Governor's Hawk to come back online, give a little bit more information before they decide to strike.
Paranoia in on the boxes. It's checked.
Wow.
Fully swung. Winthrop, mow it down! Could you ask for a retake more perfect? Winthrop keeps 5 stable. 5 standing. Flawless. The ultimate confidence booster for game point.
And that was an infiltrator round. Look at the smiles on their faces. An unbelievable retake kind of coming through from Winthrop University. And yeah, infiltrator just kind of flying in there. And look at that, clean as ever. All of the members of Winthrop University so ready for that retake. And well, that was just textbook Valorant coming out from Winthrop University. Now 6 Karma. Got to be able to win this defensive round. Keep in mind, Winthrop University, this on their attack, that is where we got to see them really shine and pull themselves back from that 9-3 half. So you know they're confident. They're ready to win out this map.
One more go at it. No early punishes. Mephisto yet again with this operator. It'll be moves again to meet him. Sprays will force him away. And that glass cannon is starting to break. Still, though, Winthrop doesn't feel as confident. Moves, still does, though. Go figure. Oh, man. Mephisto trying to find another angle to get a free shot off of. Winthrop staying trepidatious, but spreading a little thinner now. Look at how far Governor is extending. Mephisto, quick response. That is a tough breath to take there.
That's tough. I was really liking the synergy, kind of seeing Governor play alongside Infiltrator. But then as soon as I realized that they're going into two different directions, that's when things start to really get tough for them. Kind of play that duo out. Oh my goodness, Ali somehow able to survive in the middle of all that one, but Mephisto still finds the kill onto that Sage.
Keeps on getting it done, keeps on holding it down. And now it's just the zoning.
Spike down, B. 30 seconds left.
I'm out of here.
Stall work done, but you still have to finalize. And yeah, 6 Karma, they can just crunch whenever Winthrop decide to make the noise. And that's a quiet suppression.
Man, I guess both these teams just decided to get really good at their defense all of a sudden. They're weaker halves in both of them. I mean, that is a pretty decisive round coming through. That time around, just simply because Mephisto, with the operator, was able to find so many picks. Not necessarily a flawless, so sure, you could argue that Winthrop University, oh, they did their defensive side better, but it doesn't matter because we're back at overtime yet again. Boobs, operator in hand, Mephisto not bringing the glass cannon to the table this time. We'll be relying just on pure raw aim on that rifle. And I do wonder whether or not this is going to be one of those fast-paced 6 Karma rounds to see if they change up their tempo, but instead it's going to be the triple vertical stack with Abner Silva just on the side, just in case there's any early extensions from Winthrop University.
Pretty normal push out from 6 Karma to start here on the B site. All about breaking through. Moves has yet to be stopped. The TP right back, and it's Infiltrator that'll end up getting refragged. 6 Karma gonna try and go forward here. Good shock dart to expect it, and the rest of the team is there to manage the spread. Another defensive retake that Winthrop seemed to have locked down. ODQ the only one remaining, and Governor's gonna shorty him. 3 stay standing for another game point going the Eagles' way.
I got to admit, like, Governor really is starting to heat up. And I talked about that earlier. Governor, you know, started pretty slow on this map, was not necessarily finding those good timings, just kind of walking out and getting killed. And it's like, okay, well, unfortunately, there goes a lot of that fade utility. But now, especially after that spike goes down, it's such an easy time for Governor just to walk in there and play so confidently. And yeah, looks like a timeout is going to be taken. These two teams right now, neck and neck against each other, as this is potentially Winthrop University, once again at map point, looking to take their map pick, which is kind of crazy to say, because it could have been either of these teams' map pick with how this map has gone.
At this point, with the time that the teams have had to prepare, you would hope that on maps like this, where you know they're going to be in so many other teams' pools, you have those game plans prepped. I mean, I definitely see a world in which 6 Karma is going to be picking Sunset at some point across this series, for sure. Again, I think the one gap that we might see for teams is Abyss, and even then, feels like a lot of these teams have had enough time to even prepare that too. But I think, you know, coming into this, Winthrop, they definitely had a lot of excitement about this composition, these changes that they made to Sunset. They were ready to get the drop. But you have to remember, 6 Karma has been prepping, man, and they've been playing a litany of different squads, a lot of scrim partners, and again, hanging at the Keed Stars boot camp as well, getting some love from Brazil's own best. This team was ready for this, man, ready to stay here longer than just today. And again, winning the map here, that lets them do that.
Man, look at those stats moves in ODQ. 26 kills apiece. As close as ever. This is what we expected from these teams kind of coming in the play-ins, as Mephisto once again goes in deep, but not able to secure the kill. Somehow Moves able to survive just with a sliver of HP, but still able to walk away. That's the most important thing, as Governor is just going to watch it, just in case Mephisto decides to double dip.
More than appreciate that quickness, though. Forces WU to go for the early split here. Mephisto just spraying right through the Prowler. And he's going to keep it going. Governor tries again. That's 2 down on site. 6K can just hold it down. And now go for the crunch. Mephisto has his pick of the litter with the angles. Ali trying to cause some noise to force the 1v.
Wow.
It's Ali that takes it. Now the 2v1. Ozera traded away. So Ali with the 3K now able to get the ulti up and turn this into a 2v2, but the spike is still stranded.
Whew, I mean, say Spike's still stranded. 45 seconds remain onto the clock here. Don't really know necessarily what the game plan is, but there's still plenty of time for this wraparound to kind of get online. You can see Six Karma, like, they're kind of confused as to what's happening here. They have the Spike just in front of them. They're going to play nice and grouped up. But this is going to be 30 seconds left on the clock now, so Winthrop University have to kind of make this one happen. This is such a interesting thought process here. Let's see if it plays out for Winthrop University.
6K, their own timing down the elbow. Gives the perfect window for WE to grab this spike. But do they recognize 6K's position? The aftershock will force Infiltrator down. It has to be Ollie in the 1v2. And the poor guy can't even get his trigger finger itched. So 6K take it back again, and we will go to OT3.
I was like, okay, Winthrop University, let's see how this one plays out. They might be able to find a timing, and then suddenly, like, an episode out of Scooby-Doo, we see Six Karma decide to just completely back themselves off the site and smartly play off of that utility. And so as a result of that, like, Winthrop University, their hand is kind of forced. They tried to play safe, but it kind of led to their demise. I mean, Ali tried to make that one work, but would have got stunned up regardless. So Six Karma keep it alive yet again in a bit of a funhouse type of round, you know?
So we still go again. 6K back on the attack again. And Winthrop with one of the heaviest early stacks we've seen so far here in OT. Ready for that early A push with everything but the kitchen sink. A quick rotation with the help of the drone. Prowler in reaction. Governor gonna try to stand this down. You have a lot of prep on this top mid. The trademark does catch Mephisto, but he can still slide into Infiltrator, who's blinded. And now the refrag attempts by 6K will clear through top mid. Peloncito making enough headway, and Mephisto manages the other corridor. So 6K have their pick and forces Glyph forward. But Ollie wins the duel in mid, creating his own angle and letting Moobs make his way on back. Now guaranteeing one more of those angles gone with the help of that wall. And now Sabor also found with Moobs dry peeking with this operator. Peloncito, the biggest threat at the moment with this top mid presence that can come down and fight from this higher angle at any moment.
Keep in mind, too, if Peloncito is able to find the kill, that's the ultimate online. Hunter's Fury, exceptionally good. Ali gets kind of spotted out there, and, well, the information should be given away, but still able to walk away with one.
You have such an easy angle onto Sabor despite the fact that you're found, and Ali can take that third as well. The coach turned player for the third time around this year. He can do it all.
I like that we just keep on beating that narrative in the head right
well,
now.
It's crazy because Winthrop had just talked about, he's spoken at length at this point about the fact that, like, he keeps trying to retire. He keeps trying to stop playing. And the team keeps saying, we need you, man. You're too good. And he really is, man. He's just so good at being able to just hold down this stuff himself. That was such an intuitive play to turn back to that and then take the fight himself after the shot was expended.
Yep. It literally is the definition of the one more job and then I'm out, and then, you know, they drag you back in for yet another job, and you're like, man, I tried to retire 2 years ago at this point, but okay, I guess I'll play. So Winthrop University back again on map point, going the distance here. Really, honestly, just a marathon for Six Karma at this point. They came in with a pretty decisive series, feeling pretty hot, and Winthrop University has been kind of just dragging them through the mud currently. And now the camera set up for Sabor. Just watching out on top while Moobs holding a pixel of an angle here. Infiltrator, though, gonna go in. This is gonna be tough.
Moobs yet again holding mid. Both turned on to Mephisto. Kills Moobs before he can TP back out. Entirety of 6K. Why, it's another flawless defense, dude. They just hold it down. Another attempt just erased in the blink of an eye. It's Sabor with 3 this time.
My goodness. It feels like at this point, both of these teams, they're seeing their percentages on the wins for their respective sides and are like, you know what? We don't want to be the team that's like super good at attack and super bad at defense. So let's even out our spots. Let's even out the stats a little bit. You know, you heard of stats players. These are stats teams currently. To try and make it so that, listen, we've got no weakness. And it almost feels like there's been a mutual gentleman's agreement on both sides. The defense, once again, just immaculate coming in to tie things up and force yet another overtime. And well, Mephisto going in yet again, a tale as old as time.
Feels like you're on a bit of a timer here if you're Winthrop. Drop one defensive round and feels like 6 Karma have all the momentum in the world. Support clipped! But Moves is down. That is a tragic op shot that leads to a 4v5 the other direction. And 6K have the site. They own it. Relay Bolt will own it way harder, though. And Infiltrator's farming assists first and kills second. 2 for him, 2 for Glyph. Another disgusting retake that doesn't even need to kill all the members of 6K before it's over. That is going to be game point number 4 here in OT number 4 on Sunset.
And once again, like, that is a showcase of how I like how Winthrop University have adapted to play around Infiltrator there. Like, look at this.
That is such a
Infiltrator just
disgusting bull.
goes in, and then immediately the rest of the team are ready for it. Cliff going for that verticality, being able to cut off some of these key angles while everyone's just focused on Infiltrator. That was one of the biggest gaps that we saw from Winthrop University, and I'm liking the fact that it looks a lot more clean here. Winthrop, once again, on map point. Reminder, this was their map choice. And immediately they duck out of the way of the fault line. A lot of info given over, but no follow-up from 6 Karma.
Ozera has been left quite alone out of nowhere here after Mephisto's going to run back for some mid-control after a little noise is made. Prowler into the slide from Infiltrator. Ozera gets out and will back away. WU will start taking the elbow space a lot more confidently, though, because Ozera has been the one that's been stuck there. Good chance you don't have to turn onto this with any util. Yeah, Infiltrator knows the condition. But the double swing here onto the elbow is the crazy part. Ollie and Infiltrator ready for the fight. Oh, Ozera finds the shred. And Ali now has to scurry back to the teammates. Does it go defensively again? Oda-Q, quick 1v1 with Moves before the real fight comes through. And 6 Karma again, here to play for it. Mephisto's fuel is back. And so is he on the B site. We've crept up market to Boba and caught Mephisto on the slide! Now splits with the wall. Very unconventional attack, and they'll actually double back after its place because of how quickly Ozera blows through it! And he gets 2 more on top! 25 seconds, Ollie and Glyph the only ones on this B side, and they have to stick it through. 6K walled out. Premier moments in Boba. After this smoke is dissipated, all the freedom in the world to take this as soon as the spike starts getting dropped.
10 seconds.
Here we go. Glyph's got to do it all. Big smoke to force a stack. Glyph gets 3. It's down to Ali, but he can't clutch this time. Tied up again. 16 all.
Oh, I thought for a second there, Glyph with the triple kill, finding the absolute perfect timing. And yet it's actually Oda-Q on the other side finding the absolute perfect timing. Tit for tat, blow for blow here. With almost winning that one out for the squad, but Ali just a little bit too early on the swing out. And yeah, looks like we will be going again, yet again. The marathon game continues. Watch out, VCT EMEA. We're getting close to matching that record set just in the last part of the season.
Dude. GCBR finals who? We're gonna break that 50 kill record SRN got within a week of it coming in. And it's not even, we're playing in Brazil and a Brazilian team isn't even playing.
Yeah.
The same stage. Maybe it's the stage, maybe that's it. Maybe Sao Paulo's studio just lives to keep playing.
Oh man, the Valorant never dies. It never will die. Not if we have anything to say about it. As this time around though, 6 Karma are going to be moving up here. This is a little bit of risky business. Bit of a miss from Mephisto. But I like this crossfire being set up between Governor and Infiltrator. To at least shut things down just in case a couple of shenanigans do happen. An unconventional miss, but it's okay because, you know, as this kind of goes on, the mental fortitude to just keep on going. The excitement has worn off. At this point, you just want to close things out, and the mental collapse if you lose this. The pressure is just simply mounting, Tenrek.
I'm out of here. Shocking.
First noise made. Oh, Governor finds the lurker in Mephisto. And this push has no gas behind it. Big paranoia. Ollie peeks into it. Rest of Winthrop University will. Hell, why not? and give Infiltrator and Glyph all they need. Yeah, let's just stop that right now. Another game point for Winthrop. Yeah, you can see they are having fun with it. Yep.
At this point, Winthrop at that point is just scheduled into my Google Calendar. Like, it feels like this, it's just simply going to happen again. Yeah, once again, just excellent defense coming through. This time, Ali and Infiltrator kind of taking the charge there. And even though we do see Josera go for the paranoia, Infiltrator just a little bit close, has somebody watching on that other side. And so, yet again, Winthrop University on map point. And we see timeout being called. This is the one. Winthrop University says, we've had enough. let's use this timeout, try and collect ourselves, go for a counterplay. And especially with how long this is really starting to drag, you know, once again, like, you got to do something novel, but that really does risk the chance of collapsing and falling apart. So this is kind of that mental test coming through for both these teams as we find ourselves once again, potentially with Winthrop University closing out this map. But if I know Six Karma, and I know how this has gone, we'll be seeing yet another overtime.
I mean, after a tempo shift like this, surely, right? The timeout definitely going to give them the time to prepare for whatever is coming their way this time. Very uncharacteristic lurk from Mephisto that time around. I will say there were no wheels on that push. So tough to say where 6K springboards from here. Moobs will continue that glass cannon operator. And it seems like we're going to be poking and prodding the bear a little bit as 6K will force stack an A once more.
Okay, let's see how Winthrop University want to take this attack this time. Feigning a little bit of that attack onto that A side, specifically with Infiltrator, while the core of the squad move towards B. And Six Karma, they're being a lot more grouped up this time around on this defense. Spotting things out there, moves, able to escape, but this is going to be a lot of heavy pressure onto this chamber.
A little bit of coverage, but a bit of fear from both sides. In fact, 6K will just split the diff, head over to B site now.
I'm out of here.
Smoke set up again, telegraphed, not counteracted. Josera still gets away. Good God. Oops. Now in the lurk, you forget about him the second he becomes too important. The trap wire just watched. Oh, Mephisto has to be ready, hasn't he? Oh, yeah. Seeing if they ever pin it back, they won't. Fast lane on the wall. Love that Sage buff. Ollie's got to feel good about it. And Glyph with the crunch. That is a gorgeous way to spin the block. A-site taken over. Governor kill through the blocks. And it seems like we figured this out, haven't we? It's got to be just Sabor after Mephisto can't make a dent. And that's a terrific sudden quiet that washes over the field. And Six Karma's comms, they are not safe just yet. Headshot. Oh, Sabor. Maybe able to keep this going. You still got some time. No cage, though, and now you have to check everything on elbow. The crowd is looking at the Eagles soaring. They will take their map pick of Sunset and give everyone a couple more consequences to think about.
And all I gotta say is the desk called it. They said that this was gonna be a very close matchup between these two teams, and boy howdy, was it a close matchup. OT going the distance, and you know, unfortunately Six Karma not able to get themselves across the finish line despite the fact that they started with such a good start to this map. And now they kind of got to dust themselves off and get ready to go again, because you know, they've got to play the endurance game here. The good thing